Already done a list of the top 10 most overrated WWE Superstars in history. Now time to do its opposite because I want to be even. While we have Roman Reigns and did have Daniel Bryan shoved down our throats 24/7, we've also got these wrestlers that were never recognised or pushed enough. Right, fire away! Starting us off as Goldust. The bizarre one has had success with minor titles, including the IC and World Tag Team Championships. But despite his talents and awesome gimmick, he never really has been on top level. And what is he doing now? Horsing around with R-Truth, who may just appear later on the list, in the Golden Truth. He did well in his 2013 return at first, but then because he's not that current, we just gave up with him really. Stupid idiots. Number 9 is Yoshitatsu. Bet you've forgotten who he was. The Japanese wrestler did well in WWE for about 1 year in 2010 after he won the Battle Royal at WrestleMania, but then they started to job him out in 2012 in WWE Superstars and NXT, you know, back when that latter one was trash. And he's let go in 2014 after doing nothing for the past few years, that once winning a title in WWE. The last thing I've heard happened to him is to have his neck broken by AJ Styles and another company after a botched Styles clash, so you know, that's nice. Here we go with Goldust's former tag team partner, Cody Rhodes. He's doing well in WCPW now, but who cares about that? Lol. He's a specialist in tag team action, pretty solid on his own, and can even make a gimmick work that includes adding dashing to his name. And then when things were good for him during his first face turn in 2008, WWE completely him up by giving him the Stardust gimmick, the numbskulls. It worked at first, to be fair, it's pretty cool, but turning him and Goldust heel may have been the catalyst to failure. And after their inferior second tag title reign, they jobbed out big time. Rhodes was released this year. He wanted to drop the Stardust gimmick, but WWE wouldn't do that, so he asked for his release, and WWE would do that. So I guess Cody did the right thing, really. Number 7 is Santino Marella. Let me ask all you smarky fans a question. Why do you all hate Santino but love Damien Sandow? Both of them weren't used correctly by WWE, partially due to their gimmick. And for Damien Sandow, you say, oh, it's not his fault WWE gave him a crap gimmick. But for Sandow, say, oh, he's a joke. He may not be the best wrestler, but he's definitely entertaining. He's one of my favourites in 2012. His US title win was excellent, and his first IC title win was freaking uplifting. They lost Antonio Cesaro, fine, but after that, Santino did jack shit in WWE. Number 6 is Evan Bourne. The high-flying phenomenon took ages to win his first title in WWE, which was a tag team title with Kofi Kingston, back when Kofi was actually good and wasn't making genital friends with Butchio cereal boxers. That was his peak though, due to a string of injuries and suspensions. His lack of push must be because of Vince McMahon's hate for high flyers, considering being a high flyer in WWE is like being a non-sporty person at my school. Believe me, I know. Number 5 is R-Truth. Basically the black version of Santino, a little less entertaining, but even better in the ring. Through all his impressive moves, particularly his spinning corkscrew elbow, all he's accomplished are a couple of hardcore title wins, US title win, and a tag team title win with Kofi Kingston, and a WWE title match against John Cena, and a hating army of idols without a sense of humour. We're having a blast from the past now, as number 4 is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Despite having one of the best matches of all time at WrestleMania 3 against Macho Man Randy Savage, Ricky never got the recognition or push he deserved as his IC title reign quickly, almost as if he was there to bridge the gap between heel reigns. If you don't know what I mean, basically, he beat the heel Randy Savage, who had a long reign. Ricky had a short reign and then lost it to Honky Tonk Man, who had the longest reign of all time. So it's like a short reign between two long reigns, and generally WWE don't want a heel to win a title from a heel. Number 3 is Christian. He had as much potential as Edge did, but was about a third as successful as his good friend was. He had 2 world heavyweight title wins, and they were both The fact he lost his first well-earned, well-won world title 5 bloody days later is still one of my least favourite moments in WWE today. WWE can give him as many minor title reigns as you want, but in the end, a good world title reign is what he needed. Was that his punishment for going to TNA? Meh, maybe. The second most underrated WWE superstar of all time is Matt Hardy. Not broken Matt Hardy, as for like the first time ever, he's more popular than Jeff. In WWE, he never did as well as Jeff Hardy, now known as his brother Nero, which was implied by Matt himself in his feud with his brother in 2009. Jeff won 3 world titles and Matt only won 1, and even then after ECW title, which is very discountable. While a bit less exciting and charismatic than Jeff, he had the potential to be successful as him. For some reason, he wasn't. Maybe WWE didn't like him either. He even got fired for a bit of time after Lita cheated on him with Edge. What's up with that? Honourable mentions time. First of all, Shelton Benjamin, an extremely athletic competitor whose reputation was buried after that angle he had with his mom. Secondly, Zack Ryder. He's had 2 good single titles wins that resulted in terrible reigns. Now he just jobs out even more than someone who constantly gets fired. Get it? Job out. British Bulldog deserves a place. I never really liked the Heart, or technicians overall for that matter, but British Bulldog is definitely a legend that deserves as much recognition as Brett. Potato Face Perry Saturn was a surprisingly good wrestler who must have lost his dignity after the mop angle, which was a punishment for throwing a jobber on his head. Last mention is Drew Galloway, formerly known in WWE as Drew McIntyre. He was given a good push in 2009 and 2010, but for no reason at all, that all fell apart the next year. Why? Top of the list is Crash Holly. He's one of the most entertaining superstars of the early 2000s and the king of the hardcore division. You know, where we saw people getting pinned in hotel rooms and being tossed through glass. He's involved in some of the funniest defences of all time. Most notably the occasion where he had to defend the hardcore title at Funtime USA, which included Tesla strength hammers, balls, giant slides, and best of all, the indoor play area. Go check it out if you haven't already, it's brilliant. All the Hollies are pretty underrated, but Bob Hardcore Hollies are always the first one that comes into mind when talking about them. But even he was not as good as the Houdini of hardcore. 22 crazy hardcore title reigns and you're one of the best mid-carders of all time. Those are the 10/15 most underrated WWE wrestlers of all time, whether you can honourable mentions or not. And I've been Asa, watch top 10 overrated WWE Superstars if you haven't already.